Evening, everybody. Welcome to the Late Night Sunday Show. How's it going? All right. Well, it's been an interesting little bit of time, hasn't it? Let's just talk about this week a little bit. I intended to get some Hypercraft videos out, but I found that as soon as I log in, I'm kind of lost in what I need to do. So I felt that I've really not had the inspiration necessary to sort of create videos there and be interesting, and that's really all Hypermind's fault. I am so engaged in what I'm doing there. I have 50 projects on the go, and I'm working on all of them, and I'm inspired for every single one. So it's difficult to sort of keep up with the vanilla stuff, which sometimes I don't find quite as interesting. It's difficult. There are interesting bits to it, and I'm having fun with the snapshot stuff, but not really in a movie making kind of way. You know, I'm not inspired to build anything impressive or do anything clever with redstone. I'm sort of just messing about, which is a shame, really, because I should be producing videos for it. Once I figure out a way to do that, I will, and then Hypercraft will come back. And it'll probably come back in a big way. I fully anticipate it to come back in a huge way when the thought strikes me. But other than that, Hypermind is going really well. I'm doing a ton of building there. I'm spending so many hours on the server at the minute that and a lot of that time is actually just spent watching things work. I love the machines. That's my whole thing, and that's why my channel all started with modded Minecraft. Modded Minecraft has been my big thing, but this week has been a bit strange. A lot of the modding community, or at least some of the modding community, particularly modders that I've always enjoyed the content from, have all started to sort of retire. You know, it's For a lot of them, they've been modding for a long time, and there comes there is a lifespan when it comes to modding, because it's not exactly a task that you get thanked for quite often. Though I am very thankful for the mods that have been produced, and it can be a very difficult one because you're producing content and you're producing playstyles and things that people enjoy, and then they get attached to, and then when you change it or you work it, because the mod is really your own vision, that upsets a lot of people. So you are often going to get a lot of backlash, and sometimes it's just not fun. So I think a lot of them have sort of reached the point now where they're not actively enjoying interacting with the mod using community, because it's very toxic. Even if it is a vocal minority, it's ridiculously toxic. So I'm a bit worried about the future of modded Minecraft. Well, I shouldn't really be, because I'm sure there are going to be people who pick up similar things, maybe not exactly, and probably not on the scale that we've seen. I mean, when Red Power 2 kind of stopped, it's taken a year before we've gotten something that's almost at parity, and it's not even there yet. So it's never the same. But with all that said, I think we might as well enjoy it whilst we can. And then I'll be forced to deal with vanilla Minecraft all the time, which would be interesting for me if the gravy train ever stops for mods. Oh man. Alright. Maybe we should bring on today's guest before I get all melancholy. Alright. And without further ado, let's bring on our guest, the fantastic Anikidomo. Hey.
Hello.
Hey, yep. How's it
Very
going?
good, very good. I'm glad to be here.
Right. Oh no, thank you for coming. It's an honor for me to have you
Sure,
here.
it's an interesting experience for me. I've never really been interviewed through any capacity before.
Well, quite possibly the first of many.
Oh, we'll see about that.
All right. So, well, let's jump right into it, I guess. How long have you actually been doing Minecraft for, or YouTube? Let's start from YouTube.
YouTube specifically, I haven't uploaded a video until about June or July of Was it last year? Yeah, last year. Right. We just changed years.
All right. Yes.
And I actually had an account since November of the year before, but I was far too afraid and concerned about a multitude of things as to like whether or not I would actually have an interesting channel, if it would be worth my time.
Hmm.
So it took me almost half a year to actually build up the courage to start trying to record anything at all.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, you seem to have done very well for yourself in the last, what's that, 7 months?
Yeah. I've learned some things through the people I've gotten to know as far as like self-promoting and things like that. So it's definitely helped me get me to where I am now, for sure.
Okay. So, I mean, you sort of started out on redstone tutorials?
Yeah, that's really what I wanted the channel to focus on. I've kind of lost that focus lately, but I do want to get back into it. It is the main thing that I wanted to do. The main reason I actually decided, my channel would have any success whatsoever is that
Yeah.
I wanted to teach redstone. Most people just do. This is a thing I've built. Here's how to copy it.
Right, right. Okay.
So I wanted to show people exactly like what certain things were happening when you put pieces of redstone together in a certain way, and really show how to better understand it and avoid certain mistakes and confusing situations where I know I've stared at a thing of redstone for at least a half hour straight, just constantly trying to move things around and wondering why isn't it working.
Oh, I've been there many times.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, because you had a series, or sort of still have a series, with Vixie?
Yeah, unfortunately, Vixie has kind of disappeared from the YouTube scene.
Ah, oh, that's a
Yeah,
shame.
she's kind of disappeared altogether on the internet, at least as far as as she is Vixie. I don't know,
Mhm.
her personal life too well, but yeah, it was very unfortunate, and I haven't really had the motivation to continue that series just yet. I do plan to.
Well, you had Joe on
I
there.
did.
He's a fantastic
He
assistant.
was. He had a specific question. That's how he ended up on there. So I wanted to answer it, and I figured that would be the best way to really answer it for him and other people who might have the same question. So I
Okay.
do hope to continue it under that sort of setup where someone has a question and I answer it for them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Of
Okay.
course,
So you have them as a sort of guest, and you actually really show them and explain it.
yeah, that's definitely
Okay.
the idea behind it.
Yeah. Well, that sounds quite
Mhm.
interesting. And I think that would actually help the learning experience of people, because then they've got somebody who's in the same sort of boat as them.
Yeah, I figured that was actually probably one of the best teaching series that I had. Even though I really enjoyed doing Redstone Science, which this
Yep.
one we're talking about is Redstone Lessons.
Yeah. Yeah. Science came
Yeah,
first, and then.
the science one, it gets a little more into detail of the certain things of each individual, episode that I do covers a certain topic. While
Right. Okay.
lessons kind of is a little more broader, and it allows input as I'm trying to explain things at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you've recently started to branch out from Minecraft a bit. Uh, Kerbal Space Program has been your more recent adventure out. How are you finding that?
That is a lot of fun. uh,
It's a game I wanted to play, but I've never actually taken the time to actually go and buy it.
yeah, I actually tried downloading it before buying it. Like I found a
Uh-huh.
way around that. I don't know if it was entirely ethical the way I did it, but I did really enjoy it. So I decided, and I did want to play it more. I wanted to be more caught up to the current version. So I ended up buying
Uh-huh.
it, and I figured at that point when I bought it that this is the actual thing. I might as well share it with people.
Okay. Well, it's quite interesting. I quite like your
Yeah,
series.
thank you.
I actually only just caught up on it today, though.
It's all right.
So I'm I'm a little bit behind.
That's okay.
All right. So, do you have any idea of your future plans for YouTube? You know, where you sort of see yourself going in 6 months or so?
Not entirely. I'm just kind of living more in the moment as far as
Hmm.
making the videos go. Um,
All right.
it's really hard to imagine. I mean, if if I try to think about it, I'll either get disappointed or or just really be totally off. I usually try not to plan ahead too much.
Yeah, yeah. I can't help myself. I always plan
Right.
way in advance. It's terrible because I almost never meet my goals ever. Oh man. All right. Well, you talked earlier about building up the courage to start doing YouTube.
Right.
How do you feel that your experiences have been since you started that journey? I mean, how has it been for you?
Oh, it's been really great. I mean, at first it's really slow. You don't know anybody. It's
Mm.
you have a lot of doubt in yourself as you try to continue onward.
Yeah,
It's like, why
yeah.
am I doing this? Nobody's really watching. But really, just once you start to get to know other YouTubers, especially ones around your subscription count, it's a lot easier to get to start talking to, and
Mm.
from there it just got a lot easier to have the motivation to really continue and to grow.
Yeah. Okay. So, how did you come into the whole Godiva Gaming thing? I mean, it's essentially your baby, really, as far as I
Yeah,
know.
that is. It was a strange thing. I mean, initially I just had the thought because I had not too long since left Blockcentric, my old server,
Yeah.
and I was just brainstorming on my own, just thinking aloud, and I ended up going on Twitter and asking what would people think of a server of just female YouTubers,
All right.
and from there.
Hopefully, the response was
The
good.
response was good. I actually asked it twice. I asked it just broad based to the people who actually read my Twitter,
Hmm.
and because I got a good response from there, I actually then tried to include into the conversation. I think it was MK and Vedran at the time,
Right. Okay.
and from there and their input, we were able to develop what it is right now.
All right. So, so you ladies started out with a UHC.
Right.
What made you go for something like that rather than jumping straight into a server?
Well, a lot of us are from our own individual servers. Most people
Hmm.
are in a server in to some
Yeah.
capacity, and once you get a certain level of popularity, you're just going to end up on a server. So, just it seemed that it wasn't quite right at the time. A lot of
Right.
us didn't
Okay.
know each other. We didn't really have that much of an interest to start a new server, so we wanted to do something
Yeah.
together.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. But you have now actually launched the GG
I
server.
have.
That was about a week ago or so.
About.
A little bit more.
I'm not. I haven't been on top of the date counting, but yeah, it was about a week and a half or so. It's been up and running,
All right.
and yeah, I for the most part kind of see it as a sort of side server for everyone. Just a
Right.
place to
Okay.
hang out and maybe try some new things every now and then.
Okay. So are you? Because you've got your surviving Minecraft series.
Right. There.
Are you moving that to the server, or are you gonna try and keep them
I'm
separate?
gonna keep them separate. I'm kind of like one of my main inspirations, at least as far as how I want to produce content, is actually
Mhm.
ethos. So I kind of
Right.
try to mimic that to some degree. You know,
Okay. Yeah. because he's got his lab and then he has the Minecraft stuff.
Right. So
Yeah.
I feel that there are plenty of things that are unique. The kind of things that you do are unique to single player and multiplayer. So I wanted the ability to explore both.
Plus, he has a ridiculous number of subs, so he must be doing something
Right. So,
right.
nothing wrong with trying to reach for that.
No, of course not. I would hope to do the same at some point. Oh man. All right. So, are there any Godiva Gaming events coming up in the future that we should be looking forward to?
There is a monster of event coming up actually.
Can we get any clues to it, or is it still secret?
Imagine it'll be out around mid-February.
Okay. All right. So still secret, still planned.
Yeah. So we do. We did have a special guest that dropped out, but we do have another special guest. A couple of them, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm trying to run through the roster real quick. I'm not going to divulge who they are, but, they are both fairly well known. So.
Are they more ladies, or are you adding a little bit of masculinity to it?
Well, since we are going mid-February, there was sort of the theme of Valentine's Day.
Ah, right.
So
right.
for this one, at least, I don't know if we're going to continue to do so in the future.
No.
But we do have some of the males coming in. We've allowed it this time.
Yeah, lucky for
them.
All right, awesome. So, what about yourself? Have you got any new series coming up, or are you quite comfortable where you are at the minute?
Comfortable wouldn't really be the best word.
Okay.
Mainly because the time restraints as far as fitting all of the recording between work and stuff. So I really wish I could be doing more. In fact, I feel like I could probably be doing something today that I'm probably not getting around to.
Oh, sorry about that.
No.
Taking
not because of you. Like, just I always feel like I'm not doing enough.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But I do need time off, of course, too.
Yes. I mean, it's very easy to blow yourself out on YouTube.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's, for me personally, it's a very fun, exciting thing that I do. But I find if I do it too much, then suddenly you kind of lose that spark for a little bit.
Yeah.
Or it becomes like a job when you're not really being paid for it.
Yeah, definitely early on, it was very easy for me to burn myself out and just not really have the inspiration to keep going. So taking it at a regular pace definitely helps.
Yeah. For me personally, it's setting a schedule, but that doesn't always work for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, I tried doing a schedule. It just made me have like a mental breakdown.
Oh, right. Yeah. So avoid that.
Yeah, so it doesn't work for me because I definitely need to be inspired to do what I do. And if it's not there, it's just pressure that I don't need.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. So, aside from Kerbal Space Program and Minecraft, what other types of games are you playing, or what do you prefer to play?
There really isn't that much that I play. Usually, when I do start a game, even if I do find it interesting, I'm usually bored of it after a month or two. So.
Oh, right.
But I definitely like the kind of games that make me think. I probably would have gotten bored of Minecraft long ago if it weren't for Redstone.
So. Right. And what about modded Minecraft? Is that a thing that you do, or?
I kind of have a history. Not so much bad history, but like I've played mods before. At first I wanted nothing to do with it, but then it got popular and all the Minecrafters were playing it, so I was like, okay, let me try it out. And and I played it for a while and I did enjoy it, but there got a point where I pretty much had everything and it felt very close to creative, and I felt very completed as far as my modded career sort of goes.
got it all. Can get the rest
Yeah.
easily. No need to play more.
There are a lot of new mods though. My friend actually, Bevo LJ, just recently put out a new mod pack, and I am actually
Okay.
kind of interested in trying that out because he added a lot of new mods that I haven't played with and seem really nice. So
Alright, have you got a link for that sort of thing, or is it more of a private pack?
it is a public thing. I can probably send you the link. I don't know it offhand, so it'll be
Yeah, if you send me the link, we'll include it down
yeah,
below,
sure.
and other people can enjoy the
Hmm.
pack. Okay, so tell me about. Do you watch? Do you really get opportunity to watch other YouTubers? And if so, who who are you watching particularly at the minute?
Hmm. Well,
Oh, it's a difficult one. This
yeah.
one.
Unfortunately, I think that's one of the other reasons I don't get enough videos out is because I am kind of addicted to YouTube. Unfortunately, at my job, it doesn't really require too much of my attention. I can get away with watching some things there, but
Hmm.
predominantly at least the two people I watch most would be Etho and Zisto.
Yep. Okay.
um, but everyone else, I have like 100 something subscriptions, and I usually
Yeah,
watch
I know
one or
that.
two things at least, like one or two different series from each of them.
All right. Okay. That's a lot of video
It
watching.
is. It's a lot of video skipping too in my subscription fee.
Yeah, I find I have to be quite selective these days. I'm up to like 130 subscriptions or
Yeah,
something.
it's around the same.
So,
And I got so many, and usually I can tell right away whether or not I'll enjoy it enough to really see it worth wasting the time on it.
yeah,
When I could be making videos of my own.
it is a problem.
Yes, it is. You,
All right. All right. Okay. Um, I sort of run out of questions because we've kind of rattled right
oh,
through
did
it.
we?
It's breakneck pace all the
Oh,
time.
wow, yeah.
All right. Fantastic. All right. Let's say, what could you advise newer YouTubers to do? I mean, you've been doing it roughly about the same time I
Mm.
have. So we can call ourselves old hands now.
Yeah, a little bit.
So yeah, what would you advise, say, somebody who's getting into YouTube to concentrate on or keep in mind?
Quality is definitely one of the high points to watch out for. You always want to try to find different ways to improve video and audio quality because it really defines like a little kid just throwing a video out there and someone who's really trying. You especially also doing like an intro explaining the situation at hand helps a lot.
Yeah,
Um, and just keeping at it and always trying to improve yourself for sure.
there we go. Perfect. So, Aniki says, quality and keep
Hmm.
trying. Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's been fantastic having you here, and I'm looking forward to more content from yourself and the other ladies on